Hello darklings, my name is Sanniz and I thought it was time for a Q&A video this time. But first we're gonna see the intro and see you soon. Hello darklings, my name is Sanniz and I'm from Sweden. As you see, I got a little co-sitter by my side. Grim Reaper had to move into the bedroom because he didn't get room where he was standing in the living room because I got the Christmas tree up. And this time I thought it was time to do a little Q&A, and I got some questions from you both on Instagram and here on YouTube, so I thought it was time to maybe answer some of them, especially when some people actually was writing very long one with more than one question. So I thought I should start, and I'm gonna try to put even the pictures so you can see them yourself, the questions. So I'm gonna start with Lorna. She's also a YouTuber, and she actually asked about the surgery. How long did the surgery last? And I'm not really sure, but I think because it's a gastric bypass, it don't take that long time. It's like 1 hour, 1.5 hour maximum. I don't even know if they did that long. So it is a fast surgery because it's two surgeons at the same time they're working, and they have different things they're doing. So, and you have a whole team that do all the rest. So it's not that big type of things. It's not like doing a brain surgery or a heart surgery or something, but it's still a surgery. Next one is from Dizzy, and Dizzy had more than one question. So I'm gonna start with the first one. Is the goth scene different in Sweden than US, and if so, how? Of course it's probably different because here we are Swedes and in US you are Americans, and the scene looks different, the cities are different, the amount of people is different because Sweden is a very long country and it's big when you compare it with how many that lives here. We're not that many, so when you say like a little village or little town or something, that is big for us. So I should say yes, it's a big difference. If you're gonna have something that is more living, you maybe have to go to one of the bigger ones, and that could be like Stockholm, Gothenburg, Malmö. But even in some places the scene is not that visible anymore, and because of the inflation a lot of other parts have died out too, even when it comes to other type of music genres too. So even the metalheads now start to struggle with their things. They don't have much to go to because everything is closing down because they can't afford to keep up the clubs. But yes, it's a little bit different, but I think in the end we have the same goal. We have the same thing. Meet each others, have fun, enjoy the lifestyle, enjoy our interest in the music, and maybe take a look how all other looks like too, because it's very fascinating to see everyone's style. And then two is, and how has the goth scene changed from when you were younger than now? I should say that it's actually died out more, especially in my town, because you have nothing directly. I think they had something recently in some band that was playing, but I didn't know about it in time, and it's often played in those type of days when you can't go or it's already sold out when you found out. So it's not like back in the day when we could be more for living for the moment. So if you wanted to go to the local club we had even in this town, we could go, but now we don't have any places. You can't even see directly alternative people, and if you think they are alternative, they are just into the fashion things with different haircuts and that type of things, because we have a lot of people that have those crazy colors and crazy styles and that type of things, but they are not goths because they don't even know about the music, they're just about the visual. And 3, who or what made you wanna be and stay goth? I don't think it was actually anything at all, because I'm already born this way. It was my interest and everything, and I knew what I like, and I liked it very early in the beginning, because this was before internet and everything started. When you discover the music, you didn't even know the term goth itself. It came later, but then you got this, now I know why I didn't fit with my friends proper, because it was always some bits. I could like their things, but I didn't fit in. And I liked some type of styles, but they didn't like everything with that either, and so I think I've always been darkly inclined and have that goth spirit inside me, so that's why. And yeah, I don't think I'm gonna change, because it's still the person I am, and I'm 55 now, so I guess this is my lifestyle. 4, if you ever wanted kids, would you introduce them to us goths? Yes, of course I should, but I shouldn't force them to be something, because it's up to them. It's a little like a religion, a politician, and that type of things too. You shouldn't decide for another person what that person should be. It's up to that person. So if I had kids, I should be happy if they were goths too, because that means that they have the same interests, and it should be so much easier to have a family. But if they didn't like it, it's not up to me to force them to be it, or to not be what they want, because I know myself how it was when you have to hide the person you were, or you couldn't dress like you wanted. You still listen to the music, but you couldn't be the person you are. Even if I'm toned down now compared when I started to express myself much more visible, so I'm still me. I don't want to change, so why should I change other people? If they don't like goth, they don't like goth, and you can't force them to be goth. And if they love goth, welcome. You are all welcome, and you can be friend to me even if you're not a goth. So it's not a demand. Be who you are, and if you're happy with that, that's awesome. Go to next, and this is from John. He's a YouTuber too, and he do a lot of those walking and hiking type of thing videos. And he says, nice video. I would be interested to hear about pubs and bars and alcohol in Sweden, as I heard it's quite different than a lot of other countries. If you feel that is something you would like to talk about at some point, or next time you've done one of these type of videos. And when it comes to pubs and bars, we have some, but it's not like in UK or other countries, and it's very expensive to go to them, and they are not open in the same type of way either. And it's not like when you go in UK, you can see families sometimes in some of them too. So kids are not directly allowed, because it's almost all time age limit too. You need to have the proper age for drinking in a pub or a bar. And we don't really have directly pubs, it's more like bars and clubs, and it's very expensive. And when it comes to buy alcohol, you can't buy stronger stuff in a shop like you do in other countries. You have to go to this special one. This is under the Swedish, what we should say, state or whatever, that control that type of things. So we don't gonna have too much people gonna be alcoholic to each even too easy. Sorry for my speaking, I can't speak today. So they have this thing that you can only go to Systembolaget, we call it. There you can buy those stronger drinks like beer, wine, and other stronger liquors and that type of things, vodka, whatever, rum. So we can't really buy it in an ordinary shop. You have to go to Systembolaget. As Systembolaget is not always open. It has these certain times. If you're lucky, they have Saturday open, but that is earlier in the days, not in the evening times. And during weekly days, it's have open to a maximum time in the evening. So if you plan to do something in a weekend and you want to have alcohol and you don't have it, you have to plan for it. But you also need to know that it's not that cheap in Sweden, but it's definitely cheaper to buy it on Systembolaget and compare and go and drink a lot in a bar or in a club, because that costs a lot. I think people should be very surprised if they hear what we have to pay for it. But I'm not out that much, and I don't directly drink anything either when it comes to alcohol, so I can't speak for what others do with the money and everything. So, but that's the way it works. We can't directly buy it everywhere. So now we go to the next one, and this is Emmanuel that have a YouTube channel too. And the question is, I'm curious about goth culture before 2000, I guess you should say. Is the lifestyle the same? What has changed? I should say, even if we got internet and that we started to get internet, so the biggest change is we didn't have internet. So we didn't have all the shops, we didn't have the access. It was much harder to get the music. You have to search for it in another type of way. It was very much from one person to the next person. But in the same way, we were more social to each other. I think we were more kinder too. And we did a lot more do-it-yourself project, even when it comes to clothes, because we didn't have all the things we can buy right now. And even if we had the money, we had no place to spend it on, because the most places didn't have that type of shops like some like in US when they have a Hot Topic, and that's where it all is. So I know when I went to my first shop during that time, so we didn't have that many, so of course it was popular, and it was more like for goths during that time too. But even those shops was changing over the time, so we went more like what was in the fashion trend for kids later. So it was not that much. It was like in one corner they had the more proper goth stuff, and then the rest shop was something completely different. So it's a lot of things that changed. But I should say that we didn't have internet, we didn't have the access. We have to use our own imagination, and maybe that's why thrifting and do things for yourself was much more usual. And we also spent time in this other type of way. We were more hanging together. All kids that was not the usual mainstream kids, we were actually hanging together. So it doesn't matter if you were goth or later emo, you know, punkhead, whatever. We all hang together because we need to stick together against the mainstream kids. So because they were always picking at us because we were the freak, we were the weirdos and everything like that. You know how it goes even today. So I should say that's the biggest deal. The access was completely different. If you find music you loved, it could take some time to get it. You needed to go to a place where you can order the music you loved, and then you had to wait. You had to wait because they also had to order by paper. They couldn't send on internet to the record place that had the albums we wanted. So they also had to wait for that to get, and then you got maybe a phone call saying now you can come and pick it up because we have it. So it's a lot more easier to be in the subgenre nowadays when you have all the access and everything. But at the same time, it feels like it's a harder climate even there, because now it's so much that people think they must be in a certain way, they must look in a certain way or whatever. But you don't really have to have look in a certain way. You can be yourself. If you're happy with that, that should be enough. You shouldn't be forced to dress in a way you don't like. But if you like to dress different, that's good too. So you should be able to express yourself no matter what it is. And if you only like the music, that's okay too, for me at least. So I hope you thought that answer was good enough. And I had to be sorry that I speak very strange today, because I don't know what's going on with me, but I think you understand what I'm trying to tell anyway. And then we come to Alan, that are hiking a lot, from UK, also a YouTuber. And the question is, if you could go to see one band from the past or present, who would it be? Of course, I should want to see Sisters of Mercy again, but it's a lot of other bands I would love to see too. And it's not that easy when you live in Sweden. Many times, if a band comes to Sweden, they are either in Malmö or in Stockholm, or if they come to Gothenburg, they are on the wrong days, because I need to go up early. I can't take off all the time, and even for the other thing, I have to travel for hours, and then I need probably a place to stay. and the tickets are many times too expensive for me right now because we have inflation and our money is not worth that much anymore. So it's hard. It's very hard. You have to plan everything, and I have traveled to that want to see his things too. So we can't just go and see what I like. We need to go and see things he likes too. Hopefully I do like them too, because I can listen to other things like goth too. I can listen to metal and that type of things, but it's not that easy when you're gonna combine two different people's interests too, even when it comes to music. And then even to work and taking days off and that type of things, it's not that easy to get it to work. But it's a lot of bands I would love to see I've never seen, so I should say The Mission is one of them at least. And then we got newer bands too I should want to see. And yeah, I don't gonna name drop so much because if you know what I like, I would love to see everything. If it was possible, I would love to see everything, and I mean everything. So then we're gonna go back, and this is the last person. And it was asked this way. Yes, I would love you to do a Q&A, maybe about what got you interested in the goth scene. Any recommendation for newcomers in the scene? What bands are you are currently listening to? And you look stunning as always. Thanks very much, Lexi. And what I'm listening to right now, the easiest way is actually to go to the Spotify list I have on my recommendations too. I try to sometimes add some more. Maybe gonna do another list too that is a little more other type of music too. So we have to see. But you can go and listen to that one, or you follow me on Instagram or follow me here on YouTube, and you're gonna know what type of band I can recommend. Sometimes it's not just goth, but it's mainly goth that is in my heart. But I can, like say, listen to a lot of other things, 80s music and metal and that type of things. So I would say, if you follow me, you know what I'm listening to. And if you go to my Spotify list too, you're gonna get a little clue what type of music I do love. And what got me into the goth scene, I have already answered something similar. I think I was that already from start, before goth started, because that's the person I am, and everything went in place when I realized which type of people I was actually compatible with, if I can say that. Because back then, because I'm so old, we didn't know that, we didn't have that, and my friends was not exactly the same as me, and they were thinking something is not 100% like us. You're a little different, but we can't put a finger on it. And I was thinking maybe I'm a bit weird or something, because I had my interest in that. I'm darkly inclined and everything, no matter if it was music, books, interests, walking in the cemeteries, you name it, that's me. So this was all for this time, and if you liked the video, you can give it a like. If you're new here, please do subscribe. It don't cost anything, and at the same time press the notification bell so you don't miss anything. And comment, leave comments. I do love comments. And please, darklings, stay safe, stay weird, and be nice to each other. And please be honest to yourself. That's the biggest win. Love you all. Thanks for watching. Bye.